D'Angelo Russell had his first practice with the Warriors. No big deal. Practicing with the Warriors, he said that, Steve Kerr wanted them to spend a little extra time and build the chemistry. They have some veterans and some young people they wanted to mix in. All this is normal. And he was asked about the length of practice, and they said it was 2.5 hours. And he said, I can't remember a single practice that went 2.5 hours last year. Jalen, take us behind the curtain. Is 2.5 hours a long practice?
It doesn't have to be. So there are a lot of things that encompass quote unquote practice.
Thank you.
Film study is usually different from the time you spend on the floor. And there's a lot of different ways you can spend on the floor. You can spend 5-on-5. You can be doing drills. There may be a lot of instruction that stops the play. There may be scrimmaging happening. There may be a coach working with the bigs on one end, coaches working with the guards on another end. So there are a lot of things happening within the infrastructure of the word practice. So usually for me, that time frame is about right, 2.5 hours.
That's what it seems like. Maybe it's 2.5 hours on the court, but by the time you walk in the building to the time you walk out, like how long is that for? And I understand it's different when you're in the middle of the season on the road or whatever, but in this point in the season, when you walk in, you walk out, that's got to be like 4 hours,
That's
right?
4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm going to walk you through it. So first off, if practice started at 10, you want to be there at least an hour and a half before practice starts.
8:30.
Yeah, because you want to get treatment. You want to make sure that you're in the building in case any film study or stuff come up. You want to pull a coach or something to the side. They want to obviously do the same things with you. And just to spend quality time in the locker room with your teammates.
Especially this early in the season.
One of the things people forget about being a professional athlete, you're in a room with a bunch of multimillionaires that can relate to most things that you're going to go through or have gone through that 99% of the world cannot. That's why people always talk about missing the locker room and the kinship of their teammates when they're done playing. So then you go into do the on-floor stuff that we just described. And then after, the exact same thing. Ice down, maybe watch some film, joke around with your teammates. Like that becomes the brotherhood that eventually takes the floor and hopefully wins games.
So I've seen some footage from NBA practices, right? I've seen some footage from a lot of professional practices. And it seems like they're kind of doing the same stuff we did in high school. It's not that advanced. Is it really just kind of like a high school basketball practice?
Well, what it is all drills are made equal. Okay,
Yeah.
so you're gonna warm up. You're gonna do 3-on-2, 2-on-1.
Yeah,
You're
it's
gonna
the
do
same stuff we used to do.
You're gonna do
Yeah,
shooting drills from the top
I
in the
always thought you
corner,
guys were doing some different
elbow
stuff.
to elbow.
Yeah.
What makes it different as an NBA player though is the tempo. Like young people work on their games, but they don't do it game speed. That's the difference.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports analysis and highlights, download the ESPN app. And for live streaming and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.